I've got two strikes against me. I'm working off of a generator here at the house. We haven't had electricity since yesterday. And my cell phone tower closest to me evidently is spotty because I lose, my reception comes and goes. So hopefully we can get through this meeting before I lose it again. So welcome everyone. It's 1 o'clock, so I'll call to order the October 27th, 2020 meeting of the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority. As we begin, I need to mention a few things. If we are disconnected at any time during today's meeting, we will try to restore the video connection within 15 minutes. If we cannot do so, the meeting will be adjourned and we will reconvene at the next regular occur meeting scheduled for 1 o'clock p.m. on November 24th in City Council chambers. For trustees, staff, and scheduled presenters, please state your name and the organization you represent before addressing the group. For citizens who called in to speak on any agenda item, please stay muted until you are recognized by the chairman, then press *6, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. If there's no questions, we'll go ahead and begin.
Chairman, I would just like to verify that you can see the public meeting screen. That shows.
We can see it, Nikki.
Thank you.
Okay. I've already called the meeting to order. Item 2 is items from the chairman, and I don't have anything today. Item 3 is the meeting minutes of September 29th. Are there any changes or corrections? I need a motion and a second, please.
I'll move the item. I can't seem to find any button.
Yeah, I don't have.
Okay, press escape or go down and click on your Chrome button. And Mr. Chairman, Mr. McAtee will have to voice vote.
Okay.
I'll vote yes.
Okay, I got moved by Brian and seconded by Gloria. I don't have a vote button though.
Yeah, I don't either.
Is that where I should push escape?
Yes, Chairman, you should press escape, and then on the screen with the agenda, the voting button should be on top of the agenda.
Okay, I see it now.
See the.
Okay, that motion is passed 6-3. Item 4 is the consent docket. Got the oil and gas revenue report.
Just a second, Mr. Chairman. Councilman Stonecipher was there. Can you say how you voted on the minutes?
I voted yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. I show that we do not have Dudman and Casperite. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, all right. So moving on to item 4, we have the oil and gas revenue report and the Oklahoma River corridor events updates. Any questions on those? I need a motion. Moved by Brian, seconded by Kathy. Cast your vote.
Larry McAtee votes yes.
Mark Stonecipher votes yes. It's a yes.
7-2. Item 5 are primary agenda items. We have a river maintenance projects update. We have somebody that's going to give that.
Yes, my name is Jess Shumway with Oklahoma City Public Works. And currently we have project MC 0609, which is our sediment dredging contract. Currently Our contractors are completed and we're reestablishing the soil piles. We anticipate more work to start sometime late November or throughout the winter months. Currently, project MC 0641, which is our Oklahoma River SCADA contract. We've issued a lot of work orders for various sensors to be repaired on all 3 dams. Repairs are ongoing. Work orders have also been issued for the repair of some of the radios for the monitoring wells throughout the river corridor. MC 0522, the hydraulic repairs along the river. On October 8th, we had a hydraulic leak within the Eastern Basin Control House. Our hydraulic contractors, along with city crews, responded to the incident. Repairs to the hydraulic power unit were made and the spill was remediated. Also, on October 19th, the second series of our hydraulic cylinder replacements began at the May Dam. This will complete the maintenance of the hydraulic cylinders for that dam. We will shortly be going to the Western Dam to start those series of cylinders and get those replaced. MC 0622, the ferry landing and terminal upgrades. Currently on October 16th, the final inspection was completed at the Stockyard Landing. Some small punch list items were included in that. We anticipate that it'll be accepted next month. River maintenance repair projects. Currently, we've received drawings from a structural engineer providing improvements to the hydraulic jump portion of the Eastern Dam. The purpose of this is to eliminate erosion along the spillway. Public Works has engaged services of a civil engineer to the stacked stone wall portion of the Canal Zone G area. And the river maintenance crews removed 14.95 tons of debris from the Western Basin throughout the month of September. Is there any questions?
No questions. I need a motion. It's moved by Joe Beth Hammond, seconded by Gloria. Cast your vote.
Larry McAtee votes yes.
That passes 7-2. Item B is the Oklahoma City Community Foundation Charitable Organization Endowment Fund Report for fiscal year ending June 30, 2020. We have Nancy Anthony here from the foundation. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. The first page of in the agenda is probably the primary thing we need to review. Let me just say that the fund was started in the year 2004. So we've had this fund for a number of years. It has grown rather substantially. We've had very nice contributors, a lot of contributors, but largest contributors have been Bank First, the Gaylord Foundation, the Waste Connections, and then the Kirkpatrick Family Fund. So those have been all significant contributors, but we've had a number of other individuals that have made contributions. So you can see that at the end of the year, at the very bottom of the page, the market value of the fund at the end of this fiscal year on June 30th was $1,112,000. And what I want to add, that we had our investment performance for the year was a challenge, as it was for many organizations that were trying to make money on endowment funds. So our return was only 2.78 for the year. However, for the last 2 months of this year, from July and August, our return has been pretty substantial, about 7.5%. So the value of the fund at the end of August was up $170,000 to $1,282,000. So it's a rather substantial fund. It provides a nice amount of support for things at the river. The agreement that we have with the city when we established the fund was that there would be 3 primary people involved in making an annual distribution. Those people would be from the city manager's office, the mayor and city manager's office, from the River Trust, and from the Community Foundation. So Aubrey and Gary and I met last week, and we reviewed some recommendations from the River Trust staff. And in fact, so the distribution of $55,039 will be sent to the River Trust, and there are a number of items that they have identified which fit the criteria of the trust, which should be capital expenditures that improve the river. So I don't know, David, do you want to give the highlights of some of those? Obviously, there are several there. There's no way that $55,000 will cover those, but they are general repairs to things around the river that will enhance how it's being done. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have. We've enjoyed our relationship, and we enjoy the being able to promote the river and do a number of other things that the Community Foundation has done along the river. So having this fund is just kind of like icing on the cake. So we appreciate the opportunity to serve you. And obviously with Brian on the River Trust, we feel like you're part of our family. So.
Okay. Larry, you have a question?
No, I'm good, Gary. Thanks.
Okay. Anybody have a question on the report?
No.
Well, thank you, Nancy, and we appreciate you. We appreciate the Community Foundation, and we certainly appreciate the money also.
Right. Thank you.
We'll try to put that to good use. I need a motion to accept that report, please.
I'm sorry, Chairman, I'm having technical difficulties here. Give me just a second.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. All right, we should have a button now.
Okay. It's moved by Kathy and seconded by Mark. Cast your vote.
Larry McAtee votes to accept.
That passes 7-2. Item C is a quarterly River Sport Foundation update. Mike, are you going to give that?
Yes, I am. Oh, okay.
Mike, this is David Birch. Just let me know when you want to move through the individual slides, please.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, David. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Knopp, Executive Director of the River Sport Foundation. Hope you're all doing well. Obviously, there's no rowing going on in the river today, but we are moving forward here. So I'm going to go ahead and move to the next slide, David. So this is the quarterly update I provided to the City Council a couple weeks ago, and give you a quick update as to this year, obviously impacted by COVID-19 like everyone else. Our total rafting year to date, and this is as of the end of September, was about nearly 22,000 people versus about 42,000 people in 2019. So about a 48% decrease. We did know our capacity was about 50% due to all the measures we took to mitigate the COVID-19 impact. For example, we had fewer raft guides. We only put families together in rafts, so it did impact our capacity. Our expenses, however, were $971,500 less than prior year, with total income $1.4 million less than prior year. Much of this was due to the COVID-19 related capacity limitations. Of course, we were closed in the spring for the beginning of our operating season, and then again maintain those those smaller capacities throughout the season. Net income was $750,800 less than prior year. As good news, however, was that season passes did increase substantially, 136% over last year, 3,797 versus 2,791, with total revenue from pass sales about 120,000 better than last year. We did allow season passes when purchased to be good for next year because of the limitations this year. And generally, I think, people are wanting to be outside and participate in outdoor activities. So we felt like that was a good thing from this year. You see also a couple images below of some of our development milestones with the Ann Lacey Foundation contribution, dedicating the Lacey Landing, and then of course Lopez Foods getting involved as a sponsor for Surf OKC. So let's move on. As part of our financial mitigation of COVID-19, of course, like everyone else, we did take advantage of the federal, state, and local assistance, and that included the PPP, EIDL loan and grant, the Oklahoma Business Relief Program grant, and Oklahoma City Small Business Continuity Grant, and the Coronavirus Relief Fund. And we also have a retrofit program grant that we actually did just receive, and a technical assistance grant. The PPP loan will be fully forgiven. We're waiting on that, but certainly was all very helpful for this year. You can see that image too below of the Barquet that they did put up on site, and we are proceeding with an agreement now, as you all know. So we're very optimistic about that project coming to fruition next year. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide. As part of our response, also was some of the pivots that we've done. We learned a lot through this year, and there's some things that we did that we think were very positive that we will continue. One of the things being that because we had restricted rafting capacity, we created a new family tubing experience with family tubes. You can see that picture on the far right. Very, very popular. We used the recreational channel fully for tubing all day throughout the summer, and people really seem to enjoy that. So that's something that was positive that we would look to continue. Made things even more accessible than they were before. We also created this new oar board single rowing experience for our youth and corporate rowing. You've probably noticed, or maybe haven't noticed actually, that there's been no big boats on the water since March. So no 8s, no 4s, which has been odd. So in order to keep our programs running, we actually found a new unique way to do that with what we call their stand-up paddle boards with rowing rigger attachments, which allow rowing to be very accessible as a single. So our youth league programs and our corporate rowing did continue. Of course, all of our other programs continued in all single rowing or in a double if they had a family member they were rowing with. This past weekend, we had the youth league regatta actually, and had dozens of kids out in these singles, which was a really neat sight, and kids seemed to really enjoy it. So again, that I think was a positive aspect of all of this. We also had an expanded emphasis on kayak and stand-up paddleboard rentals at all of our locations here downtown, Lake Overholser and Lake Hefner. We've never rented as many kayaks as this year, and I think that's indicative of again, people's interest to be outside during COVID. And then we created new weekly live streaming events that offset our very limited advertising. You can see that social media post where we had 24,000 views on just a live stream on a Saturday. So that really did help build momentum. And we created these seasonal events in virtual race experiences. So rather than having our typical festivals, we took those events and spread them out over a month. We have just completed Outdoor October, and we think it went very well. And people came out. There was a bike weekend, Dogtober, which was a dog weekend and in partnership with Barquet. So those things just kept people coming out, and I think went over real well. We also had the Summer Whitewater Festival, or the Summer of Whitewater, we called it. So let's go ahead and move on. far as performance metrics, I won't go through all of this other than say we're very pleased considering everything this year about our customer satisfaction and web and social media presence. We have increased our followers again this year, I think a lot due to those Facebook Live events. But you know, we're now over 80,000 Facebook followers. Customer satisfaction, we're really pleased to have our Facebook satisfaction ratings have increased over 0.5 point. So significant this year. So we're pleased about that. Let's go ahead and move on. As far as capital projects are concerned, of course, you're aware of cityofokc having opened in late August. I will say it was a great success so far in the few weekends that we did have it open, and we are now underway with the $2.6 million second floor and renovation project of the River Sport Rapids, the Whitewater building. You can see what is planned in the bottom right-hand corner, and so that is going well. It's a total, you know, we're pretty much completely out of that building with the exception of some of our office areas. So it is, they're going to be working hard with the intent on that being open by late April. And that will also include some drainage improvements throughout the venue, hopefully to mitigate some of the runoff that we've had that has contributed to some of our water turbidity issues. So let's move ahead. The cityofokc opening, again, just to kind of emphasize, we did, we quickly sold out of our surfing camps with kids and developed a following of, you know, related to people just coming out and surfing. We were surfing up until 2 weeks ago, believe it or not. And so people have really, really enjoyed this, from, you know, very small kids up to, I think we had an 80-year-old surfing, from what my staff told me, or late 70s. So, and people are, it's just been a very popular, very good attraction for us. I think next year it'll be, having a full year with it will be great. So we appreciate all of your support for that. We did extend the summer as much as we could with Surf in September and had some great success with that. So let's go ahead and move on. And then Thrive Outside, as you know, we have the arrangement with the Outdoor Foundation. We're in this grant program with them, with the outdoor industry, one of only 4 cities in America. And despite the COVID, the pandemic situation, we had over 600 unique youth participating in free programming throughout the summer and into the fall, with 17 different programs we offered and 10 partner organizations, including a justice diversion program and youth development agencies. We did attract also donor and sponsor support to help us with a new program. Due to the success of our summer camps, we extended them into the fall, which included a study hall inside our boathouses with, you know, we had obviously Wi-Fi and staff members that oversaw the study halls. And then the kids got to participate in outdoor activities. And so the total value of those programs was about $152,000. And we've provided 337 complimentary season passes to families financially impacted by COVID-19. So go ahead and move on. One thing I just mentioned here, this is just kind of a good, I think, statement with regard to how this program did support people that, you know, during this time when kids were at home and parents needing to go to work. So you can see Remerge, one of our partners, that the opportunity to have us provide our space for their kids with all of our activities in providing the online classroom support, supported their moms to maintain work and program schedule in their schedules, and knowing their kids were in a safe environment. So, you know, I think that was something that was very positive and just interesting to see all these kids down here studying in our boathouses throughout the fall. So let's go ahead and move on. And then further, as part of our community outreach efforts, we initiated the River Sport Opportunity Initiative with an emphasis on unity. And this is special thanks to RKI and Ronnie Irani that helped provide some seed funds for this. We started by showing A Most Beautiful Thing in Deep Deuce as part of a drive-in that we partnered with Black Space Oklahoma. If you've not seen this documentary, I believe it's going to be streaming soon on the Peacock Network. It's fabulous. And it documents the first African-American rowing team in urban Chicago, in downtown Chicago, or a Chicago neighborhood, and how it transformed their lives. And so we thought it was a great show, and very well was received. That was followed with an open house, and really just inviting the community into our programs. And obviously with COVID-19, it's been a little challenging, but we have had kids get into our camps and sign up for our programs. So, and this will be an ongoing program that we look forward to expanding in the coming months and years. Let's go ahead and the next slide. Another thing that we wanted to share with you is our new program called the River Sport River Protectors. This is a new initiative that, obviously we have always had a passion for, the river and outdoor adventure, and part of that goes into how do we protect our environment and really advance conservation initiatives, which is really, as we build outdoor culture here, that's, critical. And, I've been here at the river for 18 years and have just, we've had many, many cleanups through the years, and it can be disconcerting when you finish a big cleanup and the next day the south wind comes and blows all the, trash back from a tributary. And it's a long education process, we know, but we are wanting to take it on. We've created a program. We've partnered with OKC Beautiful. We've had a series of cleanups already this year. I think they've picked up 50,000 pieces of trash. And we've taken a little more scientific approach with using a special app that actually catalogs the trash that has been collected, so we can better understand maybe what it is, where it's coming from, and maybe over time how we can educate the community and how we can mitigate this impact on our river and our environment. So you'll hear more about this to come, but we wanted to let you know that this is underway, and had lots of people engaged. We actually have a youth group that's completely into this. So that's something that I think will be exciting to see where it goes. So let's go ahead and move on. And then finally, I've already mentioned, this is just, we just completed Outdoor October with Dogtober, Oktoberfest, Biketober, and Thrive Outside. We have a new nature center that's in our River Sport base camp that is new this year. There's actually a deck on there now, and that overlooks our bike park. Our bike park, go ahead, the next slide, has become very, very popular over the last few months. At all times, we've added lighting there, and we actually had Biketober 2 weeks ago and had Bart Connor present because he starred in an 80s movie called Rad as a BMX. He was actually the villain, and so he showed up, and the kids loved that. We had a BMX event, and then Matt Hoffman showed up, and we showed the movie, and people seemed to really enjoy it. And we also had other outdoor activities that have been going on. So we're looking forward to continuing to expand the bike park, and we have a new nature trail down here as well. So just another aspect of the Boathouse District for people to enjoy. So with that, you can go to the final slide. That's all I have. I do kind of emphasize at the bottom, you see the Paralympic training site logo with River Sport on it. That is something that we have just renewed with the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee. We've got a great relationship with them, and they've renewed us through 2022. And we will anticipate that continuing. And so we just have a great partnership. And furtherance of that, we are having an Olympic development camp here over Thanksgiving for a week, where we'll have all the Olympic athletes in Oklahoma City training on our water course and also the flat water because of the Tokyo Olympics occurring next year. And so we're a really important resource for them. And the Olympic Committee was here last weekend getting prepared for that. So that's just another, important aspect that is unique for us here in Oklahoma City to have that designation. And I wanted to emphasize that. So with that, that's all I have, and I'll take any questions you may have.
Hey, Mike, this is Mark Stonecipher. If this spring we want to watch Chairman Mars surf, how long does a session last? What does it cost him? And what's your maximum capacity per day when you have a great day?
Sure. Well, Councilman, that's, really depends. Because some people get on and they get off really quick because they don't stay up very long, and then others stay up longer. We're still working with that because we have a divider that goes in the middle of the surfing. So if on a really busy day, we'll put that divider up and we'll have 2 people going at one time. And so we can have, about 150 people per hour, you could push that a little bit more, but we're letting people surf a little longer. If you come down and you notice our staff, unlike some of the other places that have installed these, they're very engaged. They actually give you instruction and give you tips. And so our throughput was a little lower because we were providing a lot of instruction. So it is, you can do it for just $19.99 for a full day if you just want to surf, or it's included in your day pass. What we found, like we expected, is there's a lot of regulars, people that just want to do this, and they're here literally every single day. And so we'll be forming a surf team next spring as a result.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mike?
This is Gloria. If
Yes.
The day passes or season passes or whatever, how are they made available to families that may not have the resources to fully participate?
Well, we've had a program called One Family Helping One Family, which is a program where families can fill out an application, and then through our sponsorship support, we provide that opportunity for people to have access to. And so we did, like I said, provided about over 300 passes to families, and so that is something that we will institute again. We're working with some partners on that. And we also have a scholarship program for all of our programs that if kids or families want to get in our programs, they just fill out an application and there's a scholarship available. Most of the kids that participated this past week and in the youth regatta did that free of charge. And those are kids from the surrounding community.
So for individual children, is there a set program for them or anything like that?
Yeah,
or they all have to go through the scholarship?
We have several programs, so it depends if they want to get into rowing or kayaking or into one of our camps. And then, like I said, we also have opportunities if they just wanted season pass that we can provide that as well.
And how do they access this, or how can I share information about that?
It's on our website. I can send the link. The One Family Helping One Family is probably not up right now because that program has ended, but we anticipate bringing that back up for next year. So,
thank you.
Any other questions for Mike?
Very good report, Mike. This is Kathy.
Thank you, Kat. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. I need a motion to receive that report, please. Moved by Brian, seconded by Kathy. Cast your vote.
Larry McAtee votes to receive the report.
That passes 7-2. Item 6 is the claims docket. Do we have any questions about the claims docket? Need a motion? Moved by Kathy, seconded by Mark. Cast your vote.
Larry McAtee votes to receive.
7-2. Item 7 is comments from staff. Doug, do you have anything other than what's in your written report, or you want to discuss the report?
Nothing to add, Mr. Chairman. We thank you for the opportunity. With COVID being the way it is and the weather changing, not very exciting times, mostly some revocables allowing the energy companies and pipeline companies to access their easements and things along those lines. I'd recommend that the trust receive the report.
Okay. Any questions for Doug? I need a motion to receive that report. Moved by Mark, seconded by Kathy. Cast your vote.
Larry McAtee votes to receive the report.
That's 7-2. Any comments by trustees? I will say that hopefully everybody got the email from David where next month we'll go back to in-person meetings, barring any changes. But hopefully that's good news. We'll see what happens there. Do we have any citizens that have signed up?
No, sir.
Okay. Very good. We are adjourned. Thank you, people.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.